Okay, so welcome back. So we're going to kind of explain this a little bit better using this right angle triangle right here. So here we've labeled all the angles. We've labeled our two legs and we've labeled our hypotenuse. But what I want to show you is kind of this idea of what it meant that the two squares will equal up. So if we draw this square out, and we know that this side of the square, this line is 4. Well, we know that then the area equals 4 squared, which means that the area of this triangle is 16. Okay? Pretty self-explanatory. Well, for this one, it doesn't make sense that it's so small, but we're just going to kind of go with it. You know me. Well, if we know that this is 3, well, we know the area of this square is 3 squared, which means that the area is 9. Okay? So we have two areas of two squares. If we do the math, 16 plus 9 equals 25. Well, when we look at this square, let's just do a small rectangle, which kind of is a square. We know that this is 5. Well, 5 squared equals 25. Well, look at this. It's the same thing. So these two squares equaled up to the hypotenuse. Okay, so we're gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna do another one together just so you can kind of see what we're talking about. So we'll do a couple together and then I'm gonna ask you to do a couple by yourself. So let's try one together. So the first one we're gonna do, we're gonna just draw another right angle triangle. You're noticing that I'm really good at drawing these triangles. Different right angle triangles, not so much, but you'll bear with me, especially because you can't see what I'm doing or how badly I'm doing. I know I owe change. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna get these two amounts. So you got 6 and you got 8. It doesn't really matter for this point in time what they are, centimeters or meters, but we're just gonna start off there. We're always gonna write down at the top our formula. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Very simple, okay? And now, just like algebra, I'm gonna move this over to the side so we can actually do the work. We need to know what c is, right? C squared. So we're gonna do the math time now. So we're gonna insert our legs into the formula. Again, where you do this is up to you. So we're gonna say this one is gonna be a squared. So we're gonna go 6 squared plus, we're gonna do this one as our b squared, 8 squared equals c squared. We don't know what c squared is yet, so we're gonna continue on. Okay, now we're going to expand it out. We still don't know what c squared is. I know that 6 times 6 is 36. I know that 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, so again, I'm communicating the entire time because I need to show my work. I still don't know what c squared is, but I know that it's 100 over here. So you might be like, okay, great, I found c squared. That's amazing. Well, this side is not going to be 100. So think about this for a second. If you were to have an addition on a side of the triangle, on a side of the equal sign, in order to bring it over to the other side, you'd have to do the opposite, right? You'd have to turn it into a subtraction. If you had a multiplication, on the other side, you'd have to do a division. Well, the same thing is true for a square, right? If you have a square on one side, how do you get rid of that square? How do you isolate the variable? Well, the difference is you would square root it on the other side. So we're going to do that. So we're going to skip a step. We're going to say c, right? We've gotten rid of our square, equals the square root of 100, right? So in order to get rid of this square, I'm square rooting the other side, okay? So I'm square rooting. So in order to get rid of the square on this side, I square root on the other side. And now it just becomes simple square rooting. I know that the square root of 100 is 10. So c is 10. So this angle right here, this line, sorry, is 10, whatever it is. All right, we're gonna try one more together. We've got a bunch of different boards. We're gonna try one more together and then I'm gonna get you guys to do one on your own, okay? So let's draw the triangle. You know what, I'm gonna do a different triangle today. I'm gonna do a taller one today. Look at that one. That is nice. Okay, so I've got 5, and I've got 12, and I've got C. I don't know what it is. First things first, I definitely need to write down a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You could, if you wanted to, write c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Sometimes people want to do that. That's totally fine. So we're going to say that this is going to be leg A. So I'm going to do A is 12 squared plus, I'm going to say that 5 is going to be leg B. So 5 squared. And I'm going to keep it as c squared over here. And now I just do the math. 12 times 12 is 144 plus, well, I know this is 25 equals c squared. Now I got to add them all up together. So I add them all up and I get 169. Equals c squared. Now, what do? I'm done? No, I'm not done. What do I do now? I've got to get rid of the squared. I only care about what c is. So in order to get rid of that squared, I have to square root the other side. That's right, just like Shakespeare said. Whatever one does to one side, one has to do the other side. So c equals the square root of 169. You can see how these two lines look different. This says c squared equals 169. This says c by itself equals the square root of 169. So I'm going to do the math, and I know that the square root of 169 is 13, which means that over here, mine is 13. All right, it's time for you to do your own. So here's what I'm going to do. I'd like you to do the following on your own. So here's your triangle. Ooh, it's a backwards one. I'm getting a little bit crazy here. Okay. So you're going to have the following. You're going to have 8 centimeters and 15 centimeters. And of course, you don't know what this is, so we're going to call this H, or you can call it C. It's totally up to you. So at this point in time, I'd like you to pause this video and only play it again once you've solved it, just to see if your solution is correct. Okay? So please pause the video now. Okay, so welcome back. We're going to solve this together now. So let's do this. So 8 squared plus 15 squared equals c squared. So 8 squared, oops, we know that 8 squared is 64, and 15 squared is, yep, what did you guys get? Anything? Scream it out if you know it. Is 225, that's right, equals c squared. 64 plus 225 is 289 equals c squared.